Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Noelle, aka Makeup Esquire. We are live. Happy Sunday, everyone. So today I just figured we can do a cute little summery makeup look, shall we? Give me one second. I'm going live on Instagram real quick. I don't know why this is acting up today. How are y'all doing? Thanks for joining. Hey Johnny, hey Kat, hey Stacy. Happy birthday to Kat. Happy Sunday, everyone. What y'all up to? All right. Can y'all believe it's Kat's 21st birthday? Thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate that, Stacy. Hey, y'all. Okay, so we're live streaming on Instagram and on YouTube. So today, y'all are going to want to stay tuned because I'm going to be putting the Gokujyo brush in action. I did want to clarify a couple of mistakes that I made in yesterday's unboxing. This is the size large, and I was reading the description for the size medium, so I incorrectly stated that it was 45 millimeters. It's actually 50, I believe, either 50 or 55, but this is the large size. The medium size is the 45. And then I also said I paid 180 Japanese yen. It's actually 180,000 Japanese yen for this baby. So I was watching it back, and y'all know sometimes when I get up on here live, I say things and I don't realize I say them, and y'all are too nice to correct me. So I never want to misinform anybody. So I'm just going to be applying my SPF since, as you can see, I'm still recovering from my Cool Peel laser treatment that I got done on Friday. So today is the first day that I am putting makeup on after that Cool Peel. So we're just going to be doing like a cute light makeup application. It's always so weird to put makeup on while I'm recovering, even though they say that by now I can use makeup. My skin just feels like just like a layer of like crust is over my skin. So I'll have to put my earrings on after this because I forgot to put my earrings in before this. How's everyone doing? Hey Susan, hey Keisha, hey Karen. It's good to see all my friends here. Just hanging out, chilling with the fam, says Stacy. Yeah, happy 21st birthday. Okay, yeah. So yeah, the conversion rate when I purchased, yes, this baby here, the Gokujyo brush was came out to approximately 12.33 USD. So for some reason in the last video, I forgot to put the 1,000 after I said 180. I'm like, oh, I paid 180 Japanese yen for the most expensive brush. And y'all are probably like, what? Y'all probably knew what I was talking about though. Yeah, Kieran's like, I figured it was more than $180. I know. Thank you all so much for being here. This is really the highlight of my week, to get to interact with y'all and do our makeup together. Everyone's saying happy birthday to Kat, our moderator. Thanks for being here. I told her there was no pressure to mod, especially today, her birthday, the big 21. Feliz cumple, Kat, says Johnny. Johnny won't stop with Susan. Susan, do you want my Instagram? Y'all are too funny. You crack me up. 1,600 Canadian. Yikes. Oh, you went to church already, Johnny? Glad to hear it. All right, so I'm just going to, so I just applied a little bit of that sunscreen. I don't even know if it's worth applying a little bit of this CL SPF and primer in one. It's SPF 30. That SPF that I just applied is the Thrive Broad Spectrum SPF 50. Has like a slight pinky undertone to it. This CL one, I guess we'll just put a little bit in the middle just for a little bit of extra protection, and just because it's also a primer. It's so hot today, y'all. I mean, and I can't even complain because I'm sure wherever you guys are watching from, it's probably hotter than it is here. I want to show y'all how I apply my SPF. I'm just trying to use this up. So I've showed this before, but it's kind of like weird what I do. I make like a circle on my hand like this. And then I hate applying SPF with my hand, especially with my long nails, but sometimes it's just the quickest way to do it. But like for my neck, so I don't get like my collar full of SPF, I just take my little It Cosmetics brush, and that's why I apply it in a circle on my palm. So I can really just make sure that I'm fully covered here. But it looks like she went a little bit more intensely with the laser this time because it's the fourth and final one in the series of 4 that I purchased. So there. That's how I just kind of go around my neck and like on the back of my neck and stuff, if y'all were wondering. And then I put like the rest of the SPF on the tops of my hands like this. So. Ooh, Kieran is in Canada and she says it's going to be about 70 to 81 degrees Fahrenheit this week, or 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. I appreciate you converting that for me because I would not know how that translates. So luckily the Gokujyo brush was able to dry overnight. So if y'all didn't see my unboxing yesterday, I showcased like first impressions and unboxing. As you can see, she has bloomed beautifully, hasn't she? And so late last night, it was like 11 and I was like, oh, I have to wash my Gokujyo brush because people are going to want to see her in action tomorrow during the live. So I put a little fan on her overnight, and luckily she did dry overnight. So I'm going to try to use her in all the ways that I can today to showcase her for y'all. Hey, Brittany. Welcome, everyone. All right. So let's do a little bit of a base here, shall we? So I've been really liking my Hermes. This is the Plein Air Natural Enhancing Complexion Balm. I wear the shade 50 Palomino, and it has a broad spectrum SPF of 30 sunscreen. And because again, we are really trying to keep the skin nice and protected, I'm going to be using all the sunscreen that I can possibly use today. Oh, you're the only one watching from Canada? Yeah, I think the large majority of people in here are watching from the US. Holler if you're not watching from within the US. I appreciate you all being here regardless, but I'm using my Koyudo 517 brush. So because there's like grid marks on my face right now, because they're like scabs, the makeup isn't like blending as nicely. So I have to just kind of like remember to work with it. But usually this kind of like slides on my face better than it is sliding today. But I'm just thankful that I'm allowed to put a little bit of makeup on today. Otherwise I would be looking scary out here in these streets. Susan's taken, sadly, unfortunately, Johnny. Do you want my number? I want to take you out to eat or a movie. She's not only married, Johnny, but she lives in literal Texas. And aren't you in San Diego? So I think there'd be a little bit of a geographical problem too. Aw, Kieran, you're so sweet. Thank you. All right. I'm not going to bother trying to cover up my neck, like, whatever. Okay, we got a little bit of a base on. So let's transition to concealer. I'm using my House Labs today. This is in the shade 22 Light Medium Peach. And House Labs has like fermented arnica in it or something like that. It's supposed to have like some skin loving ingredients. So because we're kind of keeping it lightweight, I haven't used this concealer in a while. So I'm thinking of doing like an orangey-ish makeup look today, kind of like bronzy tones. Was kind of inspired. If y'all didn't catch my last YouTube video too, I did my first round of this like Koyudo unboxing, and I didn't pull out any of these brushes to use today because I haven't washed any of them, but I'm gonna have to wash them and then I'll be able to showcase them for y'all. But this one's a synthetic one, the I6456, so I think it's okay to use this one without washing it first, just to showcase it for y'all. Kieran, where are you from? Kieran's in Canada. At least he's trying. I give you props, Johnny. Chula Vista must be hot, right there by the border. In law school, I interned in Chula Vista at the public defender's office there. Had some really interesting cases over by the border. Lots of like human trafficking and stuff like that right there by the border. Not to go dark, but y'all know I'm a litigator. I'm a criminal defense trial lawyer by day, so. All right, there is a cute little layer of concealer. I'm gonna go in with the NARS Soft Matte. You've seen this 1,000 times on my channel. Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Custard to just kind of carve out my eyebrow. And she even went with the laser on my eyelids, so you can see I still have some scabbing on the eyelid area. So we'll see if we can kind of cover that up a little bit with this concealer. Just trying to get my cream products on as fast as possible so we can get into the good stuff and use that Gokujyo brush. It'll be perfect today, especially since my skin is extra sensitive. Johnny's tired of being single. How old are you, Johnny? Kieran's tired of being single too. She's dating. It's too bad y'all aren't closer. It's not Thirsty Tuesdays or Thursdays, Johnny. Kieran sometimes goes live for Thirsty Thursdays on her channel. If y'all aren't already following Kieran, my girl Kieran on here, her YouTube channel is just Kieran, right, Kieran? Also follow all my other friends with YouTube channels on here and not on here. So Sunsaray is at Enamored Beauty. My girl Brittany is Brittany Davis Artistry, and she's under Brittany Davis on YouTube. My girl Lori has a YouTube channel. It's Lori's Life. My girl Shannon has a YouTube channel. Brown Girl Bella. Who else are we missing? Okay. Cute little brow moment. I just used the Hourglass. I was just trying to get a little quick brow on before coming on here because brows are kind of boring to watch, so. That's the little Hourglass. This is the Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil in Dark Brunette. She's not that precise, but that's why I tend to grab this one when I'm in a rush. All right. So there's that. And then setting powder. I'm getting to the end of my Makeup by Mario setting powder. I'm trying to finish it. This is in the shade Too Neutral Light. I probably won't pick up another one of these, y'all. Not because I don't like it, but because I just like Huda Beauty better. And it's just, I haven't found a setting powder that I like more than the Huda Beauty one. Hey, Sonia, how are you? Let's just do a little bit of a cream contour first, though. This one is already washed, the J9002. I've been loving. Y'all are gonna see me use this brush for cream contour now nonstop since I discovered it. By Hakuhodo. I just love how it just provides like this. I've said it before that this Dior cream contour stick is really pigmented. So the wispy ends of this brush just really help it go on just a lot easier and not as like highly concentrated with the pigment, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like blending as it's applying, so it just helps apply it better. So I recommend a brush like this if you have very pigmented things that are hard to work with, like for instance those Rare Beauty blushes that are like super highly pigmented, those liquid blushes of hers where like one dot goes a really long way. Sometimes we, like, for some reason aren't getting along with a makeup product and we don't realize that it could just be the brush. So that's why I love brushes and showcasing different Fude brushes on this channel, because Fude really opened up my world more to like makeup products that like just, I love watching Tara Lynn on YouTube, and she actually is the one that I credit for introducing me to Fude to begin with, because she said that this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder didn't really work for her until she tried it with Sonia G's Mini Cheek brush, and she was raving about the Mini Cheek. So I ordered the Mini Cheek off of Beautylish, and then that's where I was like, oh my gosh, like this is, when I saw it, it was very like anticlimactic. And then when I used the Mini Cheek, I was like, oh shit, okay, I kind of get it now. Because I was, at first when it arrived, I was like, really, like 30 something or whatever bucks it was for that brush. And when you don't really appreciate Fude, you know, it's hard for you to like justify the prices. But that's kind of how I got into Fude to begin with. Look at how my nails, I just wanted to show y'all, since I caught this nail right here in the warm state. So my nails are thermal, they're Mooncat. But what's cool is that they change according to like your body temperature. So I've said it on here before how I suffer with Raynaud syndrome. It's an autoimmune disease where I have poor circulation in my extremities. And so the thermals don't always change on me. It's usually just in the cold state, which is this dark green color. But if you see, they change into this like light sage whenever I have warm hands. But see how not all my fingers are the same temperature right now? So every once in a while when I see it kind of change, it's typically like in the shower or something like that, but it's pretty cool. So on like regular hands, on you, it might look green, like that light sage green, and then like the French tips. Mooncat has so many cool thermal nail polish colors like that. So I recently discovered thermal nail polish and I was like, whoa, that's so cool. Kieran does have an Instagram, don't you, Kieran? Anyway, this is the Izumea contour stick. Before I powder, I just want to do a little bit of a cream contour moment. My lips just tend to feel naked without a little bit of definition. So this is how to fake some filler in your lips. Can make them look bigger just by contouring. Can even fake a nose job with some contour too, by snatching your nose like this. Not that I'm saying you need to change your features, since we are all naturally beautiful, but on this channel we just are emphasizing our features. there was this girl that I follow on Instagram. I don't even remember her name anymore. There's so many accounts on Instagram that I just like start to follow just because, you know, it's good to like engage and just, I don't know. But like, she was live and she's beautiful, like just naturally beautiful. She didn't have like any makeup on or anything. And she was just like sitting on her couch and somebody's like, you have a, like they complimented her nose and she's like, thanks. It was $35,000. It's like, I love how real she was about it. She's like, I just wish we could all just be honest about these things. And then she's like, she was laughing because she was like, somebody complimented my hair the other day too. And I was like, thanks. I paid $2,000 every 6 weeks for it. And it's like, I mean, it costs money to be a girl. Oh, thank you, Stacy. My nails always look so pretty. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm well, Sonia. It's so good to see you. No apology needed. I hope you've been well. How have you been? Ooh, okay. So Sonia asked how this Hakuhodo brush compares to the Sonia G sheer buffer and the sheer the mini sheer buffer. So I've compared them before. This one is more comparable to the mini because of the ferrule size, but they do have, I think it's the 9001 version that's larger that is comparable to the sheer mini buffer. And my friend Yasmin, Yambi.ig on Instagram, did a really great post comparing these two with those two Sonia G brushes. And she's doing like a really cool comparison videos. And then she always has some great information in the description of her posts. So she's the one that influenced me to buy this one for that same reason. Putting it to use, because I also do have both of the Sonia G ones. This one is softer because it's all goat hair and it doesn't incorporate the synthetic. So Sonia G's synthetic bristles come out longer than the goat hair, and that's great, especially for creams and liquids. But this is just a lot softer because it's fully goat. So it's like a lot more wispy, and in effect, it gives you a lighter application. So if I were to go in with Sonia G's, I would just be getting a lot more of the product. The brush would be picking up more of the product because of the synthetic mixed in than this one, which is why I was really pleasantly surprised by this one. And I'm so glad that in my Hakuhodo haul, I picked up some more of these like duo fiber, if you will, brushes. They kind of remind me of the Refer Shoto brushes. I forget, I have to say allegedly when I say that Hakuhodo is the OEM of Refer, allegedly. But if you are familiar with the Shoto brushes from Refer, how they have the longer bristles sticking out, it's the same idea. It seems like Hakuhodo has recently started to make a lot more brushes in that shape with like the longer wispier hairs. If you can see, like you can see when I pinch it like this, how there's longer hairs, and then it gets thicker down here at the base. So it just gives for more like wispier application that way. Yeah. Thanks for the questions, y'all. I think I'm gonna need to sorry, I was trying to go without a fan today, y'all, but I just can't. So I just have my Dyson here next to me. Hopefully it's not too noisy, but it is hot. I pulled out my linen today because that's one of the things I struggle with when it comes to dressing for church in the heat. Woo! Because y'all know we got to be conservative for Jesus, but at the same time it's hella hot. So my tip to you, if you're going somewhere in these hot summer months and you are wanting to dress conservatively, like me, I have to dress in suits for court every day. But in these hot summer months, like you do not want to be putting on wool suits, right? It's like the last thing I want to do. So a cool hack is buy linen. So I have some linen suits that I am just like putting on rotation this summer. I'm learning all the cool slang from you, says Bloom Glow Bounds. Oh, thank you. I love that. I don't even remember what I said that was slang. Kieran says, I'm a low maintenance person, but I love having my hair and nails done. Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm not a low maintenance person, but I just see now they've already changed back to their normal cool state. So they're all dark green again. But I just feel the need to have my nails done all the time because, again, I'm in court. So I just think it looks pretty unprofessional, in my opinion, when I have to, like, be decked out in a suit and then I have, like, you know, just, like, ghetto-looking nails. So a lot of, like, why I've learned to kind of, like, put myself together is because of my day job. So, starting out as a lawyer at the young age of 24, and as a young Latina woman, like, you know, you're in a predominantly white male field, right? So, like, it's hard enough as it is to, like, be taken seriously. So that's one of the things that, you know, I've always, ever since, like, my grandma was always big on this. Even though my dad grew up in the projects in LA and didn't come from any money. And my grandparents on my paternal side were immigrants. So they came over through the Bracero program. They eventually naturalized. But yeah, they were on Section 8 housing for a while up until my dad was like 12 years old, where my grandparents were finally able to move out of that. But my dad actually got best dressed in high school because my grandma was always big on, like, she would always, she's still alive. She's still around. I love my grandma. I attribute a lot of the reason why I love makeup to her too. She would always take me to the makeup counters. She's a wise woman, my grandma Rosa Maria. But she would always just be like, you know, we as Hispanics were already getting stereotyped. So we might as well look our best and dress our best. So she always prioritized that. And then I'm grateful to my parents for prioritizing, you know, dressing us. And when I was growing up, I would always be like, I still inside of me, like, I don't really like dressing up, to be honest with you. I would be in sweats all day if I could. I would love to, like, just work from home every day because I wouldn't have to dress up. But so it's, like, ironic that I chose the profession that I chose. But but, like, I would always, like, want to get away with going to church in, like, leggings and stuff growing up because we would always go to church every Sunday. And my parents would always yell at me and be like, go put some real pants on. I would hate wearing jeans. I still don't like wearing jeans. I think it's like I recently learned that, like, it might be attributed to my ADD where, like, we just, you know, we feel, like, uncomfortable a lot of times because our senses are, like, enhanced. Like, tags and stuff like that bother me. So I, like, always want to be comfy. But anyway, not to get down that rabbit hole. Linen is nice, right? Yeah, it's nice and it's cool and it's comfortable, which is why I like it. It's not always the most polished look, but hey, when it's hot, you don't really care, right? For work, I have to have shellac since I'm in the medical field and alcohol. I'm frequently washing ruins regular polish. Oh yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, high maintenance when it comes to how we spend our coin. Yeah, if it lasts, right? You love family stories? Okay, I'm so glad. It's hard being a girl, right? Yes, we do use makeup to emphasize our beautiful faces. You love being in scrubs. Nursing was always what I wanted, but I'm getting old and tired, so I want to work from home now. I know, same. And I'm turning 32 soon, y'all, in August. All right, how about a little bit of this? It might be a little too glowy. I got this Hourglass, the Ambient Eternal Light strobe palette, but I got it in all three of the colorways. This one's like the darkest one that they have. It's a little bit dark for me, not gonna lie. But I still like it. It's nice and glowy. So if you have darker skin, I recommend this one. But I'm using this Gokujyo brush as much as I can in today's video. So starting out by putting a little bit of bronze. It's almost like the bristles are so soft that they're like hardly dispersing the powder. But it is dispersing the powder nicely. These bristles are so soft, y'all. It's like hard for me to even describe how they feel. This feels like a cloud. Just like air. Cute. All right, and then I brought out my love the hair. Thank you, Rain. Thanks for being here and for watching. I did my hair just for y'all. So I went in with like a little, like a wander. It's like the three, you know, like that wander, the wand type of like weave machine. And then right here in the front, I just went in with like a smaller curling iron and did like a little bit of the front pieces. I just kind of curled a little bit just so it wouldn't all be like the exact same, just to get these like kind of beachy waves. I'm overdue for my Brazilian blowout, which is why I struggle with my little like curly hairs coming in. But when it's this humid outside, there's just like nothing I can do to tame these little baby frizzy hairs that I have right here in the front. So I'm just rocking the mermaid waves all summer. It's gonna be my go-to hairstyle lately. Hey Amber, welcome. Okay, yeah, I was talking on here how like I cannot be bothered to like dress in matchy pajamas. I just like to just like mix and match. Like catch me with like a big t-shirt and like loose short shorts to sleep. I don't do my makeup for work. I work with animals. Oh yeah, you don't need to do your makeup for animals for sure. I just feel more put together like when I'm in a suit, you know, to do like, to have my hair done as it could be, I guess. Just because overall it gives like a more polished vibe. But this is like the easiest hairstyle because I do this hairstyle like on Sunday and it'll last me like all week. I'll just put like dry shampoo in it during the week. But yeah. All right, and now I'm gonna put on a little bit of this YSL Make Me Blush in the shade 37. It's this like really pretty orangey shade. You know which one I can also do though, y'all? Is this one. I don't use this one enough, and just because we're experimenting with this beautiful Gokujyo brush, I'm tempted to use this Givenchy. These don't get enough love. Like, these are really beautiful blushes. I do really like them. It's just kind of a hassle to, you know, have to deal with the loose nature of them. But they're beautiful. They really are. So even like the J9002 that I was using earlier would be great for this blush. But I'm just trying to use the Gokujyo as much as possible today to let it shine. That's how it picks that up. But there's something about the loose nature of these blushes that I think is what makes them as beautiful as they really are, like once applied. So despite the fact that they're kind of like finicky and messy to work with, y'all, they're really, really pretty. And that's why I don't think that they get enough love. So we're going to be doing like an orangey look today, which is why I pulled out my orange blushes. And I kind of want to do like a simple eyeshadow look. Look at how pretty that is. Can y'all see just how like airbrushed that went on? Just like super blurred, even though my skin is not skinning today, if you will. Just seamless, right? It's because it's loose. It's because it's a loose blush. Just gorgeous. And this is in the shade 3. Wall Coral. Mm. So I do recommend these blushes. I have the pink shade too, and it's just as pretty. Yes, the Givenchy loose brushes are gorgeous, but messy and highly scented. Are they highly scented? I think I do smell a scent. The scent doesn't bother me too much. They're not as highly scented as like the Huda Beauty setting powder. So if you can stand the Huda Beauty setting powder, you can stand these. Although Huda supposedly recently took out the scent in her setting powder, which was great. But I haven't picked up that new unscented version yet. I'm still working on finishing up mine, but I'll definitely be repurchasing that Huda Beauty loose powder because I don't think I could ever be without it unless somebody comes out with a better setting powder. RIP to the Givenchy loose setting powder that we all loved before the reformulation, right? That was another close second to that Huda Beauty one. They were like neck and neck for me. Oh, church is only an hour, Rain. Thanks for asking. It's from 5 to 6. And it's right down the street, luckily. I'm such a homebody. I'm either going to work or I go to church. Other than that, I hardly leave my house. Oh yeah, Amber, you're a nurse, right? Thank you so much for that comment you left me earlier. I'm going to reply to you. But I saw your tips on the deodorant talk that we were chatting about in my prior video. Very much appreciate that tip. Amber has some good tips. If y'all were part of that deodorant discussion, how we were talking about natural versus like aluminum free deodorant versus regular deodorant. So I'm going to have to try that. She said she layers hers and she had some good tips. Hey, Melissa, welcome. Good to see you. Oh yeah, my girl, Melissa Lorraine, she has a YouTube channel too and it's great. So make sure to follow my girl, Melissa. Oh, the Guerlain. Yes, I was thinking about using this brush with my Guerlain pearls for y'all too. The meteorites. She goes, I can't manage the Guerlain pearls without spilling everywhere. So I would make a disaster out of those blushes. I can understand that. I know these are always going all over the place for me too, especially when I'm trying to like film and showcase them. They're always like going everywhere. So I could definitely understand that. But these are great. If you like don't want to deal with the messiness of these pearls, Hourglass is a really great option that I probably like just as much. And these are scented, highly fragranced too. So if you're not one to like fragrance, but look at the packaging, y'all. Look at that packaging. I'm such a sucker for packaging. Look at how beautiful that box is. Like, I just wanted to buy this just to like look at it. Gorgeous. It reminds me, who remembers that children's book? I don't know if it's just me, but wasn't there like a children's book that was like fish? It was like a popular children's book, wasn't it? About the fish with like the scales. I don't know if I'm the only one that remembers that children's book. But that's what it reminds me of. There was a book that I liked as a kid. That reminds me of this packaging. You lost a few over time. Yeah, Melissa says she has the same struggle with the Guerlain. Michelle Wong raves about the Guerlain meteorites, and she's the one that put me onto these. I find random purple powder on the floor. That's funny. You love the finish of the Guerlain. Fair enough, fair enough. It was teal aqua scale. The rainbow fish! Thank you. Okay, it's the rainbow fish. Okay, y'all, if y'all have kids, even if you don't have kids, like look up the rainbow fish. Please buy your children the book, The Rainbow Fish. I don't remember exactly what the moral of the story was, but it was like a really great like moral to that story too. I know which one, says Stacy. She just had forgotten the name of the book, but yeah, wasn't it a great children's book? Oh, Rain got it. Rain remembers the rainbow fish. Doesn't this remind y'all of the rainbow fish? Anyway, that's funny. Aw, brings us back to our childhood. Okay. So we have somewhat of a face on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep these oils at bay today, y'all, because it's just hot. So we're going to do what we can and move along. So for like a quick, you know, when it's hot, we're not really trying to do like all the most on our eyes, right? I'm just going to mention that I am wearing Lashify lashes in the new style FXL. I have a little fluffy light in the 8 length on the inners. If anybody's wondering about my lashes, I've done tons of Lashify videos, so I'm not really going to get into it, but I just have FXLs, 12s, 14s, and then 16s, and then an additional 14 on the very end. So those are the lashes that I'm rocking this week. They're very lightweight. I don't even feel them. So it saves me a ton of time. Y'all can get 20% off of the Lashify website through my link if you're interested. These lashes have changed the makeup game for me. So these are what I'm thinking about working with today. So I don't know if this still exists. It's a Pat McGrath single shadow that I have. I think my mom found it for me at TJ Maxx. She was like, ooh, she was shopping at TJ Maxx one time and she's like, you want any Pat McGrath? Because I always told her, I was like, if you ever see Pat McGrath at TJ Maxx, get it because it's worth it. So she's really pretty. This is the single shadow in the shade Rose Venus. But this is like a really pretty copper shade. Look at that. Ugh, just gorgeous. If y'all ever find Pat McGrath at TJ Maxx at a discount, you can't go wrong. And then I have, oh, and then also in that same haul, she picked me up this one, which is Deep Velvet, which is this delicious chocolate, which has such great pigmentation. Hey, Allie. And this is great for like, you know, either tight lining or whatever, just like a very great solid chocolate brown shade. If this is the shade of your eyebrows, this is a great just matte brown. And then I pulled out the Hourglass, so hopefully to give us these like orange coral vibes. Hopefully everybody has liked the live. Please do if you haven't already. And share with anyone that might be interested in watching to get my video out to people. I'm trying to grow my channel. Hey, Shannon. See, this is where I struggle with. I cannot get my finger in this because my nails are too long, y'all. So these are best applied with fingers though. So I really like these Hourglass. These are the Scattered Lights by Hourglass. I recommend, if you can't use your finger like me, try to go in with like a Kolinsky brush or a horse brush. This is the Hakuhodo J246 Horse HS. So I might have to pick her up with this one. Or like my beloved Tansedo KQ12S that y'all know I love. This one. This one would also on the Fude Bobo website. I have an affiliate link to Fude Bobo's website. You can get this one on there. This one would be amazing to pick up, like these hard to pick up glittery shades. But these are really special. Look at how this horsehair picks up that glitter. Not all brushes can pick up glitter very easily, but I want to show y'all a swatch. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. You see how that glows? Hopefully the camera's picking that up. Okay, yeah, so these are Amber's tips for the deodorant. Okay, wash with charcoal or benzoyl peroxide soap and then layer a gel with AHAs like the Saltaire with the solid that has Mandelic, like Fleur is her fave. Thank you so much for those tips. Yeah, we were having a whole discussion, if y'all didn't see my prior live on deodorants and the struggle. Oh, it's on sale on Amazon for $13.28. Maybe we're talking about the Pat McGrath Solo Shadows. Thank you for that. Oh, Brittany loves that book too, the Rainbow Fish book. You missed the blush segment. Oh, thank you. No worries, Melissa. I used this, the Givenchy Loose Blush. Thank you. It's the Voila Coral one, number 3. I was talking about how these are underrated. They're kind of finicky to work with, but every time I do pull them out and use them, I'm like, why don't I use them more? Because they just give such a pretty flush. But a close second, if you don't want to deal with like the scent in this one or the loose nature of it, these YSL Make Me Blush blushes are just as gorgeous. They're very like soft and finely milled, so you still get a very similar like blurred look with this one. You'll get a very similar look by using this one too. So it's just this color looks to be maybe a little bit deeper than this particular shade, but they even have like a deeper coral shade in their line as well. What's on Amazon? Oh, I was showcasing the Pat McGrath Solo Shadow. That's the swatch that I have right here on my hand. So I'm gonna be doing like you inspired me, Shannon, in your live earlier to do like maybe like a two-tone eyeshadow look today, like a 2 and done. So I was thinking layering up a sparkly shade like this on top of that's why I pulled out this Solo Shadow by Pat McGrath. I also had pulled out as an option, y'all know I was raving about these Chantecaille single shadows. Okay, I want to mention something because my Chantecaille video is going up pretty soon. My full face of Chantecaille, since we're expecting, she's going to be having the Sylvie sale coming up in July. The other day, and I filmed a short on it. I haven't posted the reel yet, but look out. I used this Kulfi cream shadow in the shade Stardust. And I used it together with my little like duo fiber type of like, this is the Hakuhodo B125R, which I love using for like cream shadows because it has like a little bit longer bristles. Like again, that same idea that we were saying, the Sonia G sheer buffer and the sheer mini buffer, how it has like some synthetic bristles poking out a little bit longer than the goat. So I like using these brushes by Hakuhodo for cream shadows like this. And I used this the other day and it just, I know that these have really great reviews. Like Nikki LaRose, she's a celebrity makeup artist. I think she's talked about how much she likes these. So did Tati Beauty, but like it did not look as good, y'all. And I don't have like very many wrinkles on my eyelids, so I can only imagine if you have like more mature skin. But when you compare something like this to, for instance, something like this Chantecaille Seashell in their mermaid eye color, I'm sorry, but like you really can see like that you get what you pay for. So you see these like single shadows from Chantecaille and you see the price on them and you're probably like, what? That's wild for a single shadow. But then when you actually put them on, you start to like understand the nuances between luxury beauty. And this is high end. Kulfi's high end. It's not like it's cheap. It's not drugstore. But there's just something about it. It kind of started looking a little bit like crepey and not as elegant as I'm used to when I use more luxury beauty like Chantecaille. So that's where like it's really easy to write these off as just being like not worth it because it's just a single shadow until you start comparing them side by side to other similar things on the market. And then you're like, oh, I get why it's priced what it's priced type of thing. So I just kind of like thought I should mention that. But not to say these Kulfi ones are bad. There's just better out there if you really want to look like elegant, you know, and not like crepey. They complement your eyes so well. Thank you, Rain. I appreciate that. Yes, Donna Karen's my favorite. Yeah, if you have to do the anti-perspirant, yeah. They just say that aluminum like stains your white clothes, which is why I hesitate to use aluminum deodorant whenever I'm wearing white. Or what is it? Yeah, it's like if you're wearing white, you can get like yellow stains. But then again, I've heard people that use like other types of deodorant without aluminum and they get stains too, like we were saying, the Native. I love to put longer ones on the ends. Gives a beautiful lift to the eye. Yes. Yeah, okay, so watch out for my full face of Chantecaille. The video is hopefully going to be going up later tonight. Rare Beauty has a brush that's best for those shadows because it's almost shaped like a finger. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Rare Beauty has good brushes, like good synthetics. I think I have like one Rare Beauty. I think I have their concealer brush and it's pretty good. You don't have any Kolinsky yet? If you're gonna try Kolinsky, I highly recommend this baby right here. The Tenseido KQ12S is my favorite Kolinsky brush. You can use it for so many different things. I like to use, it's just razor sharp. So it just is so good at like being very precise. You can clean up around the lips. You can clean up your eyebrows. You can pack on glitter shadows with this baby. You could even do like your concealer with it. So many great, you could do your eyebrows with it too because it's razor sharp. You could apply lip products with this baby. It's just, you could do so many things with the KQ12S. I just love it. I always have it here on hand. You have that Kopi shade? Oh, the Amazon reference was for the book. Okay, thank you. So no, this is not on Amazon. It's the, or maybe it is, but the reference was for the book. Thank you, thank you. Did I watch the Lashify you sent? I'm not sure I've watched it yet. Oh, I need to watch the video. I think you said, yeah, I know which video you're talking about that you DM'd me. I'm gonna have to watch it. Thank you for sending that to me. I'll let you know my thoughts once I watch it. Thank you so much for joining me, those that are on Instagram. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate you. That's a good question. So Rain Girl Interlude asks, do I tend to do my makeup differently for church compared to regular days / going out? So you found your water, Shannon. In Dream's room. That's so funny. Okay, so do I? I wouldn't necessarily say so. I pretty much tend to do my makeup for church kind of like how I do it for court on a day-to-day basis. The only difference is that if I know, like, because church is just down the street and I do my makeup right before church and I come back, because I'm normally filming my get ready with me for church look, I do a little bit of something on my eyes. And day to day, like if I'm in a rush in the mornings for court, I don't always have time to do eyeshadow. When I'm filming, I try to do a little bit of something. Hey, Susan, I'm going to go in with the Pat McGrath single shadow here using my, this is the number 18 brush by the brand Number 8. You'll find it on the Fude Bubble website under Number 8 by H, because Hakuhodo's the OEM of these brushes too. And these are very unique because they're a Canadian squirrel mixed with goat. So I'm going to be packing on this kind of bronzy. I didn't put on a base, y'all. Maybe we should experiment and put on an eyeshadow base only on one eye. So the only difference is that typically because I'm filming my makeup look for church, I always do a little bit of something on my eyes. But if I don't have time to film and I'm in a rush every day for work, I don't always do an eyeshadow. And then another difference would be that I really make sure to make my makeup last when I do it on an everyday basis for work, because I'm putting on my makeup like at 7:30 in the morning. And I want it to last until the end of the day, and I walk my dogs once or twice a day. You know, I'm driving back and forth, like on my lunch break, I drive home. So I'm wearing like my sunglasses and stuff like that. So I really try to, a tip to keep your makeup on like all day, especially in these hot summer months, is to make sure you're priming. I use like a mattifying primer. So that's something that I skipped today because I'm going to be taking this makeup off in not that long. So I mattify my T-zone because I have normally combo to oily skin, mostly oily in these summer months. And then I make sure to do like, I layer my cream products with my powder products. So like today I just use one powder blush, but sometimes like if I really want my blush to stay put or my bronzer or like contour to stay put, I'll do a little bit of a cream contour like I did today, and then I might put like a little bit of powder contour over it. So hopefully that makes sense. Because if I do too much of like a natural, like no makeup look on a daily basis for work, it'll just start to kind of like melt off. Because I'm like walking all around the courthouse like all day. So I pretty much average 10K steps a day, just going from courtroom to my office, to my car, to walk my dogs over lunch, back to work. So that's really the only difference. Yeah. Good question though. Thank you for asking. You love the eyeshadow color? Thank you, Shannon. So I just was curious to see if we can see a difference with one eye having an eyeshadow primer on and the other eye not having an eyeshadow primer on. I like this Chantecaille one just for the ease of use. It's just like a stick and you can just put it on and be done with it. But it doesn't matter which eyeshadow primer you use. You could even use concealer. But yeah, I would say my makeup ends up being like pretty similar for church and for work, because I just do have to kind of not go crazy for court every day and do the most. If I'm gonna be like going out, which is rare because I'm such a homebody, then I might spice it up a little bit more, and that's where I usually do something more intense, like the eye look I'm doing today. That's where I get to like really play with like my glittery shadows that I don't always get to play with on a daily basis. Even though Kat on here, our mod, she's always trying to encourage me to use glitter even on a day-to-day basis. So I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone in that way. Another thing too that I'm trying to get into and not be so afraid of is doing like a bright lippy. So I want to start to wear like bright, like red lipsticks or like magenta lipsticks more. And for some reason, I always like hesitate to do that like day to day when I'm going to be wearing my makeup all day, just because I just feel like paranoid that it's going to like smear somewhere on my suit or something like that. Another thing that I would say that differs is like how I do my lips. So if I am going to be doing my lips at the top of the morning and I want my lippy to stay all day without having just to do like minimal touch-ups, I'll go in with something very long wearing, like this Chanel. I love the Ultra Tenue Duos. This is in the shade Mary Rose, which I love. I have a couple of these, and these really stay put all day. So this is not a product that I would wear to church, for instance, because I just don't need it to stay that long. So I'd rather preserve it and wear something like that when I want my makeup to really stay put. All right, so that's the Pat McGrath shadow on its own, but I do feel like it needs a little bit of something in the crease. So I'm gonna go in with the same bronzer palette here that I used on the rest of my face. I'm gonna just go in with this middle shade because it's a little bit less glowy for the crease, and it's a little bit less warm as well. But I was gonna try to keep this look as simple as possible. So a lot of times my makeup look for work on a day-to-day basis, especially if I'm not filming, is just throwing on the same bronzer that I'm using all over my face into the crease like this. And just throwing like a little bit of my highlighter that I'm using all over my face into my inner corner and my brow bone and calling that a day. I might put a little bit of a eyeliner on, but that's pretty much it. So wearing these Lashify eyelashes makes me feel like I don't really need to do the most and that I still can look pretty put together. That's why I love lashes so much, these lashes. I use the Givenchy Loose blush for my blush today, but I showcase the 37 and how you can get a very comparable look if you, for whatever reason, don't like the Givenchy one, because it's a little bit finicky since it's loose and there's a scent to this one. Yes, orange, fuchsia, reds. I know. So today I'm going to be doing like a warm tone lippy to match this look. I love the Chanel Icing Lip Gloss. Yeah. Shannon inspired me. I've talked about it before. How she inspired me to purchase this Chanel Icing Lip Gloss. I've really been enjoying it. Love her. All right. So like, honestly, this eyeshadow looks pretty as is, right, y'all? So I don't know, like I've heard feedback from people that just kind of think that like it's just too complicated, everything I do with my makeup, and there's just like too many steps. You don't have to do all these steps, you know? This is totally optional. You can do whatever works for you. I am the most insecure about like my face and like the texture on my face, which is why I've always concentrated. Like if I have a certain amount of time to do a look, I'm gonna prioritize my face over my eyes just because that's me. But if I had like perfect skin, I would probably do a lot less on my face and then just do like a cute little eyeshadow look every day, or like a winged liner every day. But if I have a limited amount of time, I'll choose to perfect my complexion over perfecting a wing liner, for instance. But that's just a personal thing. I know some people who like don't do anything on their face, but they will make sure that their black wing liner is on point every day, you know? Whatever works for you. So I'm just gonna be taking a little bit of this Hourglass Scattered Light in the shade Blaze. And I'm just going to be packing a little bit onto the center here, and I'm tilting my head when I do this just so any of the fallout can hopefully not fall onto my eyelashes here. Hey Dulcinea, how are you? Sasha, I call you Dulcinea, but because that's your handle, but hey Sasha, welcome. It's almost like that Pat McGrath shade is like giving as much, well, this does add a little bit of something, doesn't it? This sparkle on the center. Pretty. Huh. Woo, that's pretty. Gorge. But yeah, on a day-to-day basis, like for work, I don't really do the most on my eyes, to be honest. Like I don't really get into it like this. I usually don't do sparkly looks, like I said. I keep it very like low-key and tame because it's court, you know? So I usually don't do like this type of thing. So when I go to church and I go live and get ready with y'all, I get to play. In colors and stuff like that. How's that, y'all? Yes, welcome IG fam. It's giving you rose gold vibes. Yes, right? Like rose gold coppery. Oh yeah, it does remind me of the Lisa Eldridge. If somebody brought up Lisa Eldridge, sorry, I'm missing some comments, y'all. Keisha's eager for this Sylvie sale too. Yeah, they reformulated the Future Skin Foundation, and I heard that the shades differ. So make sure y'all are getting your right shade. This would also have been a palette if y'all have the Lisa Eldridge Cinnabar. This palette has very similar shades here too, that you can probably get a very similar look to the eye look I did here today. I could have totally used this palette too. Stacy loves the Hourglass shadows. They're great. Locke loves the Ultra Nude Duos. She wore the soft rose one yesterday. Love that. Skyscraper Rose would look gorgeous on me. Thank you, Kieran. Is that a Lisa Eldridge one? I don't have that one, I don't think. I don't do a lot of steps, Brittany? Okay, thank you. I think some people think I do a lot of steps. My mom was telling me that some of her friends that watched my content like felt a little bit overwhelmed with like the stuff I do, but a lot of times I just do it like for the content, you know? Not because I think everybody needs to do all the steps every day. You just kind of tailor it to what works for you, because everybody has different like concerns, right? And what makes them feel insecure that they want to cover up or emphasize, whether it's eyeliner to trying to like kind of emphasize a different shape for your eyes, or whether it's covering acne or melasma like me. And so that's why it kind of differs, in my opinion. And then that's how I have kind of come to my like everyday look, is focusing on what I'm most insecure about. And I got into makeup because I've always suffered with cystic acne ever since I was a little girl. So that was kind of like why I started to like learn to do my own makeup, is because I wanted to cover up my acne. All right, for an inner corner highlight, I don't know, y'all, what do we think? I'm trying to decide between these two. These two are the Single Shadows by Chantecaille, the Lion and the Cheetah. But see here, I wouldn't even need to grab another shadow. I would probably just be putting in the highlight that I'm using on the rest of my face on into the inner corner to do a cute little inner corner pop, which is like one of my favorite steps. I never skip doing a little inner corner pop. I'm trying to find my little highlight brush here. You like the warmer gold color, the Lion. Oh, Stacy says use the lighter shade, the Cheetah. I'll swatch them for y'all. So this is the Lion. Totally could have used this today too. Ooh, that's like more yellow, huh? And then this one is the Champagne Cheetah one. That's pretty. And let's compare it to the highlighter I'm going to use, which is the Gucci highlighter in the shade Warm Gold. I love this highlighter by Gucci. And I want to compare it to this Cheetah shade here. It's probably similar. Okay, so the Gucci highlighter is warmer. Hopefully you can tell. Can you tell? You use that or Surratt Star basically every day. Ooh, I don't think I have that shade in the Surratt. Or the highlight says, yeah, I think even the okay. All right, I'm gonna use, let's see. Yeah, that one would give you a similar look too. So if you don't have the Pat McGrath single shadow that I used all over the lid today, just doing something like this all over the eyelid too would be really gorgeous. On its own. Even like this, the shade Seashell by Chantecaille too is pretty. I'm gonna do a little bit of this Gucci highlighter here on the high points. I usually don't like to go in with Squirrel for this highlighter because it's like kind of like a creamy, like cream to powder formula. So you just, it'll work better with like a goat mix brush. Like I have these here by Hakuhodo that I still need to wash, but ideally I would go in with something like this. Hey Yasmin. Like something like this would be perfect. Or even like a fully goat hair brush like this. Even though I haven't washed these yet, y'all. Let's just see. Yeah, see, it's doing a better job of picking up this highlighter. So sometimes you have to kind of like switch up your brushes to see what gives you a better finish. So if you're using like a squirrel brush with something and you're not getting the impact that you want, switch it up for a different type of hair mix. This is part of my Hakuhodo haul, so these are pre-wash, but still. Just because I have them sitting right here, I'll show y'all. I didn't get a chance to wash these Hakuhodo ones last night. Because I was like, should I varnish the handles first, then wash them? Or wash them, then varnish the handles first? I was thinking about varnishing the handles, then washing them. So that's why they're sitting here. So anyway, that's that. Oh. Yeah, it depends on the formula, right, of the product. Totally. All right, just for the heck of it, just because I have it out. Oh my gosh, the lion or the cheetah, you guys, it's 50-50 on the poll. Desi said I jacked up the lion or the cheetah poll. Don't mind me. That's okay. It's just for fun, y'all. This is just fun. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in with this one. I'll just do this one. And the brush that I'll use with this baby is this Hakuhodo Kokuton one. It's a cute little squirrel, little round shape one. It has some synthetic in it too. Pretty. I just think an inner corner pop does so much for a look. If y'all haven't tried doing this, just take your highlighter. It doesn't, you don't even need like an actual like extra shade for this. Whatever highlighter you're already putting all over your face, just put a little bit in the inner corners and it just kind of makes your eyes pop. It opens up your eye look. Your eyes, I mean. And then, yeah. But yeah, like I said, I could have totally just gone in with the same highlighter I was using, like the Gucci one. And I'll just put a little bit up here on the brow bone. This is the Hakuhodo 241. And I take a little bit down the nose. Oh, your LS? What do you mean by that, Shannon? I don't know why I can't think of that acronym right now. All right, and I just kind of go down the nose with a little bit of that highlighter. The brush that I was using, by the way, for my nose contour was this Koyudo one that you can get on the Bobo website. It's just like the perfect diamond shape and it's tapered on the sides. So I've just been really enjoying it for nose contour. But it's also really great as an eyeshadow brush. I could have used this one for the inner corner highlight too. And same with the brow bone highlight. So love these. They come in like a pair, so you get like a bigger one too. I've showed these on my channel a ton of times. Beautiful handles too. That matte red to white gradient. Thank you. You love an inner corner pop too, says Kieran. Yes. The Sylvie sale's coming in July. I still don't think that they've announced the dates yet, y'all. So I don't have the exact dates for y'all. But just look out. You use Lion a lot, says Locke. She loves the Chantecaille luminescent eye shades. Aren't they beautiful? The Surratt shadows bring me joy, says Amber. I have a cabinet full of Natasha and Pat, but there's something about Surratt. I know, right? It all goes to like what I'm talking about. Like, it's kind of like easy to write these things off like as, oh, is it really worth it? But like when you actually just try it and then you compare it to like your other stuff and it's just something you can't explain, right? That like it just has this like extra magic in it that just kind of like makes it worth it. And the staying power, like these babies like really do a really great job of staying put too. So do Pat McGrath's shadows though. But yeah, and I don't know about y'all, but I don't see that much of a difference. I guess I could see a little bit more impact on this side, and I pretty much packed on the same amount of glitter on both eyes. But y'all can tell me what you think. If y'all think that the eyeshadow base that I put on this eye by Chantecaille is giving a little bit more impact on the eye. But yeah, so that's a tip in these hot summer months. If you're trying to make your makeup last and not crease on you, definitely don't skip the eyeshadow primer. Even if you're using a concealer as an eyeshadow primer, just having something set down to help grip whatever you're using, especially if you're going in with like a cream shadow. And on the Hourglass ones, don't take off this little stopper. They say to keep this stopper in there too. just to keep it, you know, not as messy, and probably helps them not dry out as fast too. And then, so this is where I could take like a little bit of this brown Solo Shadow by Pat McGrath in the shade Deep Velvet on this Hakuhodo Kolinsky 143 brush. And if I'm too lazy to find like an eyeliner, or I don't really want to mess with an eyeliner, my best tip is get you, even if you have a palette laying around with a deep brown or a black matte eyeshadow, and just kind of emphasize the lash line a little bit. And that's like all you need. You don't have to go all crazy like with a wing, and a lot of people are intimidated by wings, but if you just kind of take a little brush like this, or your Tenseido KQ12S, and just take an eyeshadow, and then a little precise brush, you could just fake a cute little wing just like that. Doesn't need to be complicated, you know? Yes, so true. Yeah, check out Sephora right now, y'all. They're having a great sale. And I love the Natasha Denona mini palettes. That's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up, Amber. I have a bunch of those. Even though I have a lot of the Natasha Denona larger eyeshadow palettes, those little mini ones are great. Especially if you tend to get like decision fatigue and like overwhelmed with too many options. If the eyeshadow palette just has too many colors for you on a daily basis, those cute little mini palettes are perfect, even for like travel. And they're really great quality too. Nice and pigmented. I don't have anything negative to say about Natasha Denona eyeshadows. They're among my favorites, just like Pat McGrath. And they're not as pricey as the Chantecaille ones too, so you can save a little bit of coin. But there you go. That's all you need to do. You could put a little bit on like the lower lash line if you want to make your lashes look a little bit thicker. I go back and forth with putting something on my lower lash line and not really bothering, to be honest with you. Just kind of depends on how much time I have. I have an Ulta, but I just don't shop at Ulta very much, just because I'd just rather shop at Sephora. I'd rather get my points at Sephora. I know when the Sephora sales come around, and I'm VIB Rouge, so I try to get as much makeup as I can on the 20% off at Sephora. I find the Sephora shipping policy a lot better than Ulta, and I rather shop online than in person personally, because again, homebody. But that's just why I personally prefer to shop at Sephora. But every once in a while, you know, I like going into Ulta for something, especially if they carry something that Sephora doesn't. I like getting my samples too at Sephora. They have good samples. So I feel like I went up and out a little bit more on this side than on this side. So I just want to match it. I get distracted when I'm live, and then I don't always do like the most perfect look, but the whole point of this is for it to not be difficult, for it to be just like easy. So that's kind of like what inspired me to, when I was starting up my channel to begin with, I was like, I just want the working professional woman to not feel intimidated by makeup. I want to show that it's not that hard to get a makeup look, especially if you're using good brushes like Fude brushes. You can do your makeup in like half the time if you're using brushes that are efficient, which I found using Fude is very efficient, and they just like, you get a better blend. You can blend faster than you can with synthetics. So that cuts down the time too, if you don't have all the time in the world. like me in the mornings. So you could definitely fake looking like you spent all this time on your makeup and not spend all this time and just use like 1 or 2 eyeshadows like I did today. This is the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal eyeliner, and this baby is in the shade Copper. So I just thought that a little bit in the waterline would complement this look. Hopefully y'all can see that. All right, and then y'all know I've been loving the Isomea lip liners. So the 2 like warmer tone shades that I picked up are Bean and Geisha. So if y'all are interested, this one's the shade Bean and this one's the shade Geisha. And I say that they're warmer because I picked up like some cooler tones. So as you can see, of course, cool and warm are relative, right? But when you see them together with, this is Tonka and Liberica, you can definitely tell that those are warmer in tone, right? So it makes a difference. So if y'all are like struggling with how to like match your blush to like your eyes, go by like what type of tone you have going on. So because I have a warmer tone going on, I'm trying to match the tones. So I'm trying to go with like, you know, a more coppery eyeliner to match the oranginess on my eyes. I'm going with an orangey blush as opposed to going with a pink blush, right? Because pink is cooler than orange. I'm going in with a warmer tone lip liner as opposed to a cooler tone lip liner. So over the years, I've gotten better at that too. Color theory, right? At its finest. So just think about the color wheel. This is where I like to take my Koyudo. It doesn't even have any product on it, but I'll take like some concealer, like my Soft Matte Concealer by NARS. The shimmers are OMG. Thank you, Kieran. I didn't want to turn more lights on because it's so hot, but I feel like they really shine in the light. So I will say it does look like the side with the base is giving a little bit more impact, huh, y'all? Brushes and quality products. Yes, Brittany. Yeah, we also love supporting women and woman-owned business, especially people of color. Yes. And Chantecaille is a woman-owned business, I believe. Like Sylvie, the Sylvie sale is named after the founder, Sylvie. I think she's a co-founder or a founder. But I think yeah, she's a co-founder because she and another woman founded Chantecaille. And we love how Chantecaille does a lot of philanthropic work too, right? So I like to kind of fake having bigger lips than I already do, even though I know that I don't have the smallest lips in the world already, naturally. But the way I do that is by, you saw that first I went in with a little bit of like a contour, right, around the lip area. And then I just overline on the Cupid's bow with a darker lip liner. And now I'm taking the Isomea lip liner in the shade Geisha, which is less pigmented than the shade Bean. And I'm kind of like blending that out. But see, this is where people can start to say like, ugh, it's just too many steps for me. Don't use all of these different colors. Like, just find your right lip liner shade that you like, that works for you. You don't have to use 2 like me. I just like to do the most, apparently. And then I always like to take a Kolinsky brush, or I could have also taken the same horse brush that I used to apply the shadow with. Like this one would also be a good one. Again, the KQ12S. Anything that's like flat like that. And I just like to blend out my lip liner so it's not as harsh. Those liners, okay. Yeah, so I always do bottom lash mascara. So I'm just trying to use up this Tom Ford Badass Black Mascara because they discontinued it. So I'm just trying to finish it up. But I often, on a day-to-day basis for work, go in with a tubing mascara. I love the Hourglass Unlocked tubing mascara because they don't smudge or flake or bleed. The Thrive Cosmetics tubing mascara is also great. The YSL Lash Clash mascara is amazing too. I've heard great things about people being like ride or die for the Chantecaille mascaras. Chantecaille has a couple of good mascaras. But mascara is like the one category where like you could definitely save some coin and get like drugstore if you want to spend less. A good mascara that I used to like ride or die for before I discovered Lashify and before I became a lawyer and started to be able to afford higher end makeup was the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara. And I would always use waterproof because my top lashes were so straight. And the only thing that helped keep them curled was waterproof. So this is where like if I go too crazy out of the lines, it's no big deal. Because you could just use a flat brush like this. And this is just the Makeup by Mario EF one that you can get at Sephora too. Thank you, Yasmin. But yeah, Sephora's having a sale. Like their shampoos and conditioners are on sale right now. I brought out this Chantecaille Lip Chic in Meadow, but it might be a little bit too pinky for this look. So yeah, I don't like that for this look. I'm going to go in with an orangey lip to match the orange tones that we have going on here. So, sorry, I just dropped something. So an orangey lipstick that I really enjoy is this Westman Atelier one in the shade Lacquer. She's pretty. Watch. Who else has an orangey lipstick that's really nice? Hindash. This one's in the shade Call Me Peaches. So that one really reminds me of this YSL 37. Cute. Those would be cute paired together. I love the YSL Lip Shines. I have some really nice orangey warm shades in those. I showcased this warm tone Dior lipstick that I had that was limited edition. Rouge Dior 284. She's quite warm, but it would definitely go with like a warm tone look like this. So this is where I grab my like warmer tone lippies when I'm doing an orangey look. And if you make like the outsides of your lips a little bit darker than the middle, it gives like a three-dimensional illusion that you have more plump lips. But this is why I can get away. I just can get out of hand and start using a million lip products because I just love lips. As it's like my favorite step. In my makeup routine. I try not to go crazy because with a bunch of different lip products, because a lot of times people will ask me like, oh, what are you wearing on your lips? And I don't want to be like 4 lip liners, 2 lipsticks, 3 glosses, a lip primer, a little bit of contour, you know? So I try to keep it as simple as I can. But that's the lippy, but I always feel like I need a little bit of a gloss. So let's do a little bit of a gloss. What do y'all think about this Huda lip gloss in the shade Honey? I haven't used this one in a minute. Y'all know I love my Chantecaille lip glosses, but I've showcased them on here before and I was tempted to go back and grab one of these, but I'm trying to switch it up on my channel and not show the same products all the time. I've been loving the YSL Lip Shines, the lip oil, the plumping lip oil glosses, and I have like a warm toned shade in the lip oil, the lip oils that I would totally reach for. The shade 44 is cooler, but I think it's the shade 3 that I'm thinking that is like warmer. Oh yeah, this would go, right? It's like this orangey, warmer. Warmer tone. Oh yeah, using your eyebrow pencil as your lip liner. Yeah, if you want to cut back on products, that's actually a really good point. I would recommend these Makeup Forever artist color pencils for that exact thing. Like you can get these and you can use some of these come in really great shades that you can use for eyeliner and lip liner. So thank you for bringing that up, Amber. That's a great tip. So like there are a ton of shades in this particular formula that I would recommend for that purpose too. You just got to find the shade that works for you. Like this would be a good one for that type of thing. Versatile Chestnut would be a really pretty eyeliner and a lip shade. And that's a really great way to kind of keep the look looking like monotone too. Yeah, totally. So like there's just ways to simplify your look. Like you don't have to use a million products. I just love makeup so much and I have so much of it. And it's just like all here in front of me in my vanity, which is why it's so easy for me to like, you know, reach for like a bunch of different things. But I totally understand that like the average woman doesn't have as much makeup as I do and is just like working out of their little like makeup bag. So what I would recommend is just getting yourself a cool tone of something and a warm tone of something, and then you can pretty much do any look. Or get yourself like a neutral leaning blush that can go with cool tone looks or warm tone looks. For instance, something like the Pat McGrath, let me see, she has a good blush. Like, for instance, the shade Nymphette. Like, that's like a very, just like a dusty pink. You could probably get away with like, you know, using this like soft tone for warm tones and cool tones because she's just kind of like a soft kind of in-between shade, you know? So that's another good tip too. Oh, you love the color, Brittany? Ooh, our makeup artist approves. Thank you, Brittany. You want the new Fenty times Smurfs gloss. I haven't seen that one. You grew up watching Smurfs every Saturday morning. How fun. I loved Saturday morning cartoons. Such a great pastime. Yes, one less item to carry for touch-ups. So true. Very true. Perfume, and then we're gonna be done. It's not a lip combo without the glossy shine, right? Unless I'm doing like a red lip, or like maybe like or something close to a bright red, maybe like a magenta. I typically am a glossy lip girly through and through. It's hard for me to resist a good lip gloss. So that's the look, y'all. Just gonna put a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury, since I already have her out here on the center. Thank you, Kieran. And then I'll show you all my fit too. Okay, so, oh, the Valentino perfumes I think are part of the Sephora sale right now, y'all. Check out the Valentino perfumes. Also, I got the Tom Ford. I saw a couple of Tom Ford perfumes on the Sephora sale too. Tom Ford is hard to find on sale. I always try to like match my perfume with like the color that I have going on. This one I recommend in the upcoming Chantecaille Sylvie sale, Frangipane. I showed her last time. It's very like gourmand and smoky, but this one I think is really great for the summer. It's bright, it's fresh, it's coral, so she'll go with this look. But I'm pretty sure like all of these Valentino perfumes are on sale right now at the Sephora sale. I'm gonna try not to spray my actual neck because, again, recovering, so I've learned that the hard way in the past where I'm just like, oh, and then it like burns. So I'll put her on my palms. I'm gonna put my jewelry on after this, and then that's all, y'all. So that's the look. Oh, Melissa's loving the lip. Thank you, Melissa. It's a closer look at the eye look. The fit is just, like I said, it's hot out, so I chose to do this ivory linen fit today. I'm so glad you made it too, Yasmin. So hopefully y'all can see the fit. I'm pairing this outfit with my Jenny Kane slides. How cute are these? So cute, right? So thought they would match the ivory fit. I kind of did this like half tuck just to emphasize the waist a little bit. That's it, y'all. Ah! You love the powder. I know, she's a good one, isn't she? Love her too. And I've raved about the equivalent in the Chantecaille. Chantecaille has a really great setting powder too that I recommend picking up during the Sylvie sale. She's kind of like a little bit of a step up from the Charlotte Tilbury powder. A little bit less coverage, a little bit more finely milled and thinner. So probably better to use in these like hot summer months to set your makeup, and she's really blurring. This is the perfect blur finishing powder. Maybe we'll just, for the heck of it, one last hurrah with this Gokujyo brush. Even though she's stained, I'm wiping her off on a microfiber towel so I'm not getting all the blush all over my face, y'all. But this is where I would go with the finishing powder, like the Guerlain, or, you know, the Hourglass. Oh, you like the Chantecaille for finishing powder too? Yeah, right? You can't go wrong. Just because I want to find any excuse that I can find to use this brush. Oh, it feels so nice. You don't need this. This is just like a very like collector's piece, but I just wanted to show her off because she's brand new. So y'all got to see her in use for the first time today. I hope I didn't disappoint. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I hope y'all like the look. Look out for my YouTube video on my full face of Chantecaille that should be coming out hopefully tonight after church. I'll be able to just do the finishing touches on that video and get that up for y'all. If y'all aren't already following me on YouTube, MakeupEsquire, Instagram, MakeupEsquire. Thank you so much, y'all, for being here. Thank you for joining me. Feel free to catch me every Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as I get ready for church, here live on Instagram and on YouTube. Make sure to join my email list if you haven't already. It's in my bio on Instagram, and I'll link it down below on YouTube as well. Thank you so much for shopping my links. If you do shop with Fude Bobo or Lashify or anything else that you want a link to, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm always happy to help. If you want any brush recommendations or makeup recommendations, I love talking about all of this stuff. So I know the only reason I'm a klutz too. Trust me, Kieran. The only reason I trust myself going in all white is because there's not going to be food involved. So otherwise, I feel you, girl. All right. Bye, y'all. Have a good